The Department of Water and Sanitation has been a crime scene since Minister Mokunyana used the War on Leaks project to fund ANC elections. Work under Mr. Nchunu has begun, but still water leak caused non-revenue water to the excess of 50% in many places. The elections have passed. Let interventions truly help our people and not use state money to get votes. I want to note my disappointment that after lunch, I thought that the EFF or the Everything for Free party might have changed their rejection of the budget because they ate from the same budget that they rejected. But I guess the train that they got on is the gravy train that's operated by the MK, taking them further away from their voters.
I've been informed that the following parties would like to make declarations of vote in terms of Rule 78. I now call upon DA Honorable Scheurkogel.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Chair. I would like to take this opportunity, as is the last vote, and then everybody can remember, to greet you all in the name of John Henry Steenhuisen, the leader of the Democratic Alliance and the current Minister of Agriculture. This is the last declaration and on the individual budget votes today, and yet one of the most important in terms of the impact that government has and can have on the lives of people living in South Africa. The Department of Water and Sanitation has been a crime scene since Minister Mokunyana used the War on Leaks project to fund ANC elections. Work under Mr. Nchunu has begun, but still water leak caused non-revenue water to the excess of 50% in many places. And where fresh water is not running in the streets, it's sewage flowing down the streets into our drinking water resources. In order for the War on Leaks program to succeed, the department needs to engage on an extensive private-public partnership program, because those that will take the head on our local business forums that want to grow their businesses to contribute to the GNU intend to create jobs. As a water-scarce country, we cannot have a department which have been made aware that Vaal Central Water in the Free State will limit the water supply to 30% due to Machabeng municipality not paying their bills. And Section 139 intervention has been mentioned by this House, and the department's response was it will deal with it next Monday. Mafubi, Maleti Abufang, Machabeng, Ngwati, just to name a few Free State municipalities, have water shedding daily or no water at all, which is an infringement of people's human rights. Let all the national interventions be of a true spirit of Batupili. The elections have passed. Let interventions truly help our people and not use state money to get votes. Honourable Chair, we would like to reiterate that the ministers embrace priority one of building a capable, ethical and development state to ensure the Department of Human Settlements is depoliticized when the provision of housing or issuing of title deeds are considered and not in accordance of political affiliation, like what's happening in Machabeng local municipality, especially Ward 35, Riola Housing Complex, Extension 2, Reeders Park, Golf Course and Tifateng. Housing is dignity. The Department of Human Settlement needs to ensure that grants allocated to local governments are spent to alleviate the housing needs of South Africans, unlike the infamous Machabeng that in 2020-22 and 2021 financial return 67 million, which was meant for housing. Furthermore, we want to change South Africa to be turned into a construction site to create real jobs and give people dignity. The Department of Human Settlement must ensure that construction mafias, but even more, Chairman, for a lack of better word, those local thugs that want to stop development and progress and only interested in enriching themselves are stopped. While rapid land release would make more service sites available, ensuring access to well-located land will remain a challenge. However, one that can be confronted more robustly if it exists in political will to release well-located state-owned land, as well as by removing many obstacles as possible for the market to deliver more housing stock, especially at lower income segments. The rollout of title deeds is therefore central to transferring homes into usable assets and to ensuring owners have secure property rights. It's about title deeds, Honorable Chairperson. People want title deeds. The department has been too slow in giving people true economic freedom by issuing them with title deeds to their homes. This is what the GNU must do. Make home ownership relevant for people for security of tenure, but also that means wealth creation and integrational wealth transfer. Another threat to property rights is the practice of land invasion. It places not only property owners but the unlawful occupier at risk, often encouraged by political parties, organizations, and sometimes property owners themselves to serve their own interests and not the people without housing. Honorable Chair, I want to note my disappointment that after lunch, I thought that the EFF or the Everything for Free Party might have changed their rejection of the budget because they ate from the same budget that they rejected. But I guess the train that they got on is the gravy train that's operated by the MK, taking them further away from their voters. I thank you.
Yeah, riveting speech. I think this is the kind of back and forth we'll keep seeing, in this government of national unity. Many times it makes me laugh because, it appears that the Progressive Caucus, the opposition, the MK, EFF, ATM, most of the parties didn't really support any of the budgets that were actually proposed by, many of the ministries. And it was like... you could see it was like light and day. So while this proposes, this, opposes. And so the whole back and forth, even the jabs that are actually being taken by the EFF and MK members, and then the DA not backing down from these jabs, is actually a war of words and rhetoric, as much as it is a battle against the, legitimacy of the GNU and also the opposition by the MK and the EFF. So it's all like... That's, I think, what we'll keep witnessing for like the next 5 years. And, if you listen to my last video I made on Gaten McKenzie, he spoke about how, he's willing to give his all to see that the GNU succeeds, because the GNU, from my general understanding, it's more of a reinterpretation or reinvigoration of the rainbowist ideals with Nelson Mandela actually instituted at the 1994. Is trying to pursue that. Although there's been some videos lately that's been cropping up with Helen Zille actually really attenuating to the fact that the GNU is actually an alliance between the ANC and the DA and not necessarily anything more. But I think I've seen some of those videos. A lot of people are angry in those comments. Maybe I'll dig up one of those videos and try to make a video here on it so we understand Helen Zille's position in that regard. I've seen many of your comments on this channel. You say Helen Zille should go retire and that, she's been in politics for quite long. She's really a sharp politician in my understanding and all that. But anyway, I see a lot of your comments here actually who say she should resign and all. She's really almost like probably as open as like Gaten McKenzie. They don't know how to really mince words. They actually say things the way they are. And so that's the way I really see and try to perceive Helen Zille. But the government of national unity here, I'm suspecting, actually seems to want to represent a form of government that inculcates the whole rainbowist ideals, where divisiveness is not given any room at all. And so it wants to try to push to answer the national question. It wants to try to push to answer the racial question. It tries to really open the debate for all of these difficult issues that are actually difficult to discuss between the different groups that make up South Africa. But another issue I really think usually is about the president, how long President Ramaphosa will be on that seat, because as the ANC Congress comes up, I've seen that a lot of spectators and a lot of critics from especially the Progressive Caucus think that President Ramaphosa would actually be not like overthrown per se, but he would actually be replaced maybe by Vice President Mashatile. And so if that comes to the fore, and if Mashatile we really don't understand yet, probably I'll have to start now going through Mashatile's speeches to really understand where he stands. But if he's really, really ahead, if he's really in tune with the whole rainbowist notions and rainbowist ideals of Nelson Mandela, the rainbowist ideals that I suspect that the GNU is actually trying to push at the moment, then we might see, a flow in directions and, foreign policy and all that. But if Mashatile actually opposes the direction that many of the DA ministers actually are pushing for, then we might see another cracking of the GNU from within, and it will be really difficult to ascertain how the other smaller parties, the UDM, the PA, and others, would respond in a fracture. If that comes to bear. So this is actually one perspective I see to the whole long stretch, 5-year stretch for the government of national unity, and to the point where Gator Mackenzie argues that he suspects that South Africans would love the GNU so much that they will demand another 5 years for the GNU. He's really positive about the government of national unity, and I think many of the members of the government as well, the IFP in Katabel and Kosi Tabisa, they speak a lot about the motion to really build a one united, cohesive South Africa, and in that regard. So these are some of the challenges I'm trying to really foresee anyway, and try to really understand the wider impact it will take on the entire South Africa, the Progressive Caucus, and the other parts of Southern Africa. But anyway, what do you guys think about this speech here by the speaker here in this DAMP? Really powerful. Share your thoughts anyway. Share your thoughts in the comments.